Hello everyone and welcome to Friday Favorites. It's a time where I share all of the things that I am loving for the week. Sometimes I talk about the previous week. Since it's every other week, you will find me sharing some of my favorite things that I am enjoying or that I recommend or that I've tried before and can't live without. So let's get started with Friday Favorites. Hey guys, it is Friday and I am back with Friday Favorites. Today I've got so many things to tell you about. So many things and so much fun things that I have discovered in the last few weeks. So here is my Friday Favorites. Number one, I am excited about watching Handmaid's Tale. If you're not a fan, I'm sorry, but I really just enjoy watching. It's kind of a mind thing as well. Like, it does make you think about our society and what it's turning into. And as a believer, I also think about how I come across to other people who are not Christian and who are not, believing in the Bible and in Jesus and God. So it really does give you a good perspective. So if you get a chance to watch it, it's called Handmaid's Tale. And I believe it's on Hulu. Yes, it's on Hulu. So the season's out and I'm about to binge watch it. But checking with my husband because he watched it as well. So I want to make sure that I'm not going to jump the gun. Maybe we should watch it together. But I'm just chomping on the bit to get to that. The other thing is someone recommended a TV show called The Radkes, and I think it's like Melissa Radke. I was expecting a really good show and I just did not like the show. So this is like not my favorite. I thought I would just throw that in as well. You might enjoy it if you like her humor, but I guess I realized I didn't really like her humor. I didn't like the way she talked or treated her kids. And I know it's all like for the show maybe and just her personality, and she's a great person, but I just didn't really jive with it. So like I only watched like a few minutes of it and I was like, oh, this doesn't make me feel good, nor am I enjoying watching it. It's almost like watching a train wreck that you can't help. So it's like, I don't think I'll do that again. The other thing is I have been watching, I believe it's on Bravo, but I may be wrong. It's a show called Best Room Wins, and it's on cable. I think it's Bravo, and it's with, what is her name? Genevieve Gordo. She's one of my favorite designers. And she takes two designers that are professional but not like very well known. So she takes two designers up and coming and gives them two different rooms, two different families, and they are supposed to do like high-end looks for these rooms. They go to like a really cool house, so that's kind of fun to see, like really high-end designer decorated homes, like McMansions, and then they're supposed to replicate that in a normal person's room, a normal American family home. And it's really cool to see what they do and how they decorate and what accents they buy and how they do it all for I think it's still quite a good amount of money, enough if it's like $25,000, and then one person wins, like one designer wins in family. And what's great about that is they get to be featured in Elle Decor magazine, so it really is kind of fun to watch that. The other thing I'm loving is I try to take care of my teeth. I have terrible teeth just by hereditary. Always have cavities, always needing something, but I am trying to take care of my teeth, and I have always and always do brush, but flossing has been tough since I got my braces removed. When I got my braces, I couldn't floss, and so I got out of the habit. It's been a long time since that's happened, but it's just one of my downfalls. So I am loving these things called Plackers. It's like a little tool, and I just throw some in my purse or my makeup bag and keep them with me. So whenever I can, I will floss my teeth and, get all the stuff. So I know this is like TMI probably, but that's what I do with the Plackers. I really love them. And I get them at the dollar store. They're always by the dollar. I mean, you can get them at Target too, or Amazon. In fact, I'll link them below. And if you want to buy some just like on the spot, please use the link. It helps Rising Stories podcast when you use our affiliated links through our Amazon store. But I got them at the dollar store, and I just picked them up, and, they're $1. So, and they're like a good size, like 30 or 40 in a package. And I like the ones that have the double, like floss on them across. It's like a little piece of floss, and I like the ones that are double. The other thing I am loving is I have been reading a lot of books, or actually listening to books. One of my absolute favorites, I'm going to recommend it to a lot of people, just like I do The Glass Castle, and that is Where the Crawdads Sing. It is a fabulous book, a great story, great storyline, learning lots. It's a mystery, so it's a murder mystery, so if anybody's interested in that, it's a murder mystery. It takes place in the marshlands or wetlands of North Carolina. So I've been there, and so that makes it a lot more fun to actually listen to and watch, or listen to and read about. The other book that I just finished is I just finished Elizabeth Hasselback's book called Point of View. Awesome lady. I wish I could get her on the show. I may try to reach out to her when I come back in the fall. But she is really, really a neat person. And she is a believer. She's a Christian. And I love that interwoven in her book, she just kind of like having lunch with a girlfriend. We're talking. And this is how, I speak, where every now and then I'll pull out a scripture, a verse, Bible verse that is, connecting me to the world and what I'm doing. And so she does that throughout the book, which is really fun. The other thing I'm loving is I have enjoyed going to the movies. I have seen Long Shot. I've seen the one, which I cannot remember the name. I think it's called The Hustle. Yes, it's called The Hustle with, I don't remember their names either. I'm terrible with names and names of movies, but The Hustle, Long Shot, and I have most recently seen Rocketman about Elton John. That was really good. I didn't expect it to be like, it almost looks like you were watching a Broadway show, because they'll just break out in song, where normally there would be dialogue with song, like in the background, or like a performance. This one was almost like it was a musical with, using his words to as in place of dialogue, I guess is what I'm saying. The other thing that I want to share with you is this, a very, very good tip, I think, for anyone who is making a transition in careers. Like I did several years ago, I made a transition from a stay-at-home mom to being a coach, working outside the home, doing meetings, board meetings. I was on a couple of board of directors, and I needed some very nice business attire. Didn't have a lot of money at the time. We were putting our daughter through college. She was getting married. Things were just a little tight, and so I couldn't spend hundreds of dollars on wardrobe. So what I did several times, I guess maybe about 3 or 4 times with different items, I made a point to visit one of my favorite thrift stores. And I suggest you just kind of peruse your thrift stores and decide which one in your town, in your city, has the best thrift store. Like, where are they getting and receiving the best quality of clothes that you see? I mean, if it's just like dollar yard sale clothes that are all worn, that's not your store. So kind of do your research and look around, walk in, just kind of check out the clothes, and then decide which one is the best, and then spend some time there. So I think I did about 4 trips, all about I really did block off the afternoon, but I think I spent maybe an hour and a half, maybe more, I don't know, but spend some ample time if you have it, and it can be after work or whatever, and choose this one item to look for your first visit. This is going to be the game changer for your wardrobe, and that is blazers, jackets, and coats. So that's what I concentrated on or focused on for my first visit. I did just those. So I just got a basket and I just went through it. Even if it didn't look like it would fit, or even if it wasn't in my size, I looked through that size. I always looked in the extra large and the large, because sometimes it will be labeled extra large, but it will have shrunk or too small or missized. You just never know. Look for colors. I got black blazer, brown blazer. I got a winter coat, a trench coat, and everything was just super inexpensive. And I tried on everything. Spent time and tried on everything. And what I did that day was I wore what I would normally wear with a blazer, and which is my favorite to wear, is sleeveless shirts. So those are my favorites because I wear them all year round. And I'm going to put a link to my favorite sleeveless shirts. I call them tanks. Some people just call them sleeveless shirts. But they are my favorite. They are thick and awesome. But that's what I wore that day to try on these blazers. And let me tell you, I found some awesome blazers. I don't know if anyone has watched my previous or listened to a previous podcast where I talked about my yellow blazer jacket. It's my favorite spring jacket. I wear it in the summer. I wear it in the spring. I don't wear it in the fall or winter just because it's kind of a buttery yellow, like a marigold yellow. But I absolutely love it. It's great quality. I also have another blazer that is kind of like a Chanel look. And I got all these blazers. They were like $4.99. The coats might have been $7.99 at my thrift store. You might pay a little bit more, but you're not going to pay more than like $20 for a nice coat or a blazer at a thrift store. I mean, I think that's across the board in any city and state. So take a look at that. Check it out. So that was my first visit. I think my second visit I went and got like different, tanks, sleeveless shirts to wear. Sometimes I would go and get scarves. Sometimes I would look for shoes. So I just kind of picked and choose like what I was going to concentrate on. It keeps it from being so overwhelming when you walk into a thrift store and you're like, oh my gosh. Another time I went there and I was like, I don't have any khakis. I don't have any black pants. And granted, I have purchased some things here and there at different stores when I find them. But I did enjoy going and looking for, slacks, dress slacks that I could wear. Sometimes I'm not a big skirts person. I do like dresses more than skirts, but start with the blazers. And it is a game changer for your wardrobe. It does help put everything together. And you can just now I can just put on a pair of jeans and a t-shirt with my nice blazer and I look dressed up. I look kind of business casual. So try that out. That's my tip for today. Those are my favorites, and I hope that you've enjoyed my favorites. Oh, one more favorite that I forgot was my cashew tortillas. If you see my Instagram stories, I'll try to post another one today, Friday, so that you can see my my creation, my breakfast creation. But they are made with my taquito was made with cashew tortilla by Siete Foods. Not sponsored, don't have any affiliation with them. Would love to have an affiliation if anybody's listening, but love those tortillas. And I had tried the almond, not my favorite, and I thought, you know what, I love cashews, I'm going to try cashews. And it's still, the tortilla I think itself is still about 100 calories, and that's kind of what I do. I kind of watch my calories, and I also try to stay away from white flour processed foods. But those cashew tortillas are the bomb. I love them. And I made a burrito, and I'll show it to you on Instagram stories. And I'll also link in the show notes. I'll have a picture of it as well. So thanks so much for joining. I am excited. As you are listening to this, I am on my way to Austin, Texas. So my next Friday favorites will be about Austin. So if you want to visit Austin, you're thinking about visiting Austin, or you just want to hear about it, I'm going to be talking about all my favorites in Austin, Texas. So listen in. Also watch my Instagram stories. I'll be posting those, but I'll have them in the highlights under travel. I think it's travel. Thanks so much for joining. I'm going to be doing some Friday favorites and some interviews here and there throughout the summer, and I'll start back Rising Stories in the fall. Thanks so much for joining us again and for listening, and keep rising in your story.